Hi traders, Shane from Global Market Trader. Thank you for joining us for the GMT Renko hybrid training session. In this video we're going to take you through our T3 sell trade setup. So let's jump straight in. The first thing we need to do is just alert you to the fact that we're not here to provide any type of personal financial advice. This is our disclaimer that we need to make sure that everybody reads before they continue. And we'll go on to slide 3. So slide 3 talks about setting up for the T3 Renko trade sell. So what are the components that we need to have in place for a T3 trade sell? Let's have a look at them. The first thing we need is bearish divergence in price and the MACD. So no doubt you would have spent a little bit of time going through the MACD training videos, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you through step by step how the T3 trade sets up. So one of our trade setup is we need to ensure that the conditions in the market that we're trading or analysing are overbought. So we need to make sure that price has pushed up and got to a position where the market's overbought, and our indicator will let you, it'll indicate when that has actually occurred. So I'll show you that as well. And the final piece of our puzzle is that we need to make sure that we're trading off resistance. So that just really ties everything together. Bearish divergence in price and the MACD. The market needs to be overbought, and we need to potentially be looking for a trade off resistance. So we have to have those three things or conditions setting up in the market for us to take a trade. Without that, then we don't have a T3. So let's go and have a look at exactly how that looks on our charts, and I'll take you through each one of the components of our T3 trade sell setup. Hey traders, welcome back. I'm just going to start slowly putting the indicators onto this chart because I want to just reinforce what we need to get a T3 setup. So remember that we're looking for a T3 setup. Now the first indicator I've loaded up on the chart is the GMT MACD. Now I've kind of played around with it a little bit and customized it, and the only thing I've done is really just change the color of the thickness of the MACD line. So I did that by going format GMT MACD, and I just changed the thickness there in style. So I've done that, and the other thing I've actually done is change the signal line, which is the 9 period. I've just changed that from a solid line to a broken line so it stands out a little bit more. So that's a signal line. So that's the other thing I've changed on that. And just one other little subtle change, I've actually made the MACD fairly about almost a third of the chart, because what I want to see is I want to basically see price and the MACD. Remember that one of the keys to our trading setups is picking divergence. So where we see price move up, we want to see the MAC and making higher highs, which you see here on the chart. And this is a chart of the FDAX. So that it's the DAX, and we've got a Renko of 2, so 2 bricks. So each one of these bricks, these Renko bricks, is worth 2 points on the DAX. So that's printing 2 points, and you see there as price makes a higher high, the MACD is making a lower low. So that's where this is a perfect example without anything else on the chart. This is the example of us seeing a clear picture of bearish divergence. So price is making a higher high, the MACD is making a lower high. So that's what we're looking for, but that's only one part to the T3 puzzle. So we don't have a trade yet, we don't have our entry, we don't have the other components. Remember that we're looking for the market to be overbought or oversold, and we're looking for price to come off support or resistance. So let's have a look at our other indicators. So we'll load those up to give us a little bit more of a picture. So here's our fatigue index, and what the fatigue index measures is the market moving to extremes, so moving outside its range and becoming either overbought or oversold. So in this instance we have now got the market in an overbought position. So we've got divergence, we've established that, we've got a bearish divergence there, price is making a higher high, the MACD a lower high. We have triggered on our fatigue index, we've got the market is moving to a point where it's starting to move outside its range, or the market's moving to a point where it's triggered off a overbought condition, so we'll mark that with a vertical bar. So we've got 2 out of our 3 elements to potentially take a trade here. So so now we're going to put on a double top, double bottom. So we've got divergence, we have the market oversold, and now we're looking for trading off support and resistance. So what we see here is that the GMT double top, double bottom indicator is telling us that there is a potential here for us to be trading off support or resistance. And obviously if we're moving up in the market and price is pushing higher, then this is what we call a resistance level. So it's already gone back through the chart and picked up areas of resistance that we could potentially use to sell off. So if we tighten this trade up a little bit, you'll see that it's actually picked up this area of resistance here as a level of resistance, so 6331, and it's telling us that we have divergence, so we've got bearish divergence. We have the market is setting up a double top or a level of resistance, and we also have the market overbought or oversold, so it's overbought at this stage, and we're looking for a potential sell. So we're looking for a sell setup here, and we've got all the elements of our T3 trade, so we are ready to potentially take a trade. But what we don't have is we don't have our entry point, we don't have our targets, and we don't know what our trade management or our stop strategy is. So let's go to those components, and we now is go to part 2 of our training video series and take you through how to get into a T3 setup, so the entry, stop and targets for the T3. So thank you for your time everybody, and we'll catch you in the next video update. Cheers.